Greetings, Internet. My name is Chris. This is Veteran Wayrest Sewers and how to defeat it. I won't have any sound on this video here, other than my own voice, since when I did this, I recorded Ray call conversation on top of it, because I'm running with 3 of my very good friends here, whom I played with for 4 months now, I think, most of them. So yeah, it's just gonna be my lovely voice. Hopefully you'll you'll enjoy that nonetheless. Of course, this is just a guide. It's not purely for entertainment. So yeah, that's that. The trash mobs here are quite simple and straightforward, but there are actually a lot of variety in them. You have melee skeletons. You have ghosts that do fear and frost attacks, I think. You have healers that also summon, and you have firecasters that drop AoE. So yeah, a lot of variety here. Variety. That's one of the tough words. Yeah. Anything with a V on it is apparently very tough for me to pronounce. Yeah. Shit. So I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. If you've been here before, it shouldn't be too difficult. If you haven't, don't worry about it. You can also use negate, nova, veil of blades, or consuming darkness, whatever, to help ease the pressure of the trash mobs here. So yeah, this is definitely the easiest of the tier 2 dungeons, and of course the tier 2 dungeons include Wayrest, Elden Hollow, and Darkshade Caverns. This dungeon here is recommended by me, at least, for Vet 8 or Vet 7. It's said to be for Vet 6 to 10, but you can have a lot of trouble with it if you're going at Vet 6. At least if your entire group is. Of course, now it's almost impossible to not get a group with a Vet 10 or Vet 14 in it. So this footage is recorded before the update 4. We're coming up to the first boss here, which has some interesting mechanics to it. You want to go each to a shrine, so you have 2 shrines, and you have to activate each of them in order to free the boss and be able to defeat her. The boss will toss down AoEs on the ground that will stick for a long time. I think they go away after a while, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. You can see a switch in between 2-hand and shield once in a while. Okay, so a party member of mine just got trapped there, so we had to go to each shrine and activate it in order to free that person. Now, you won't be able to hear it, but before we attack this boss here, we actually split our own group into 2 and said, okay, the tank and the healer will take the right side, and the 2 DPSs will take the left side. So basically you split the room in half, and it makes it easier to free one person. But you can see there my healer friend, who's supposed to take the right side, is a little bit too far away when I get trapped, which results in me getting killed. But yeah, you can see one of them just dies, and one of the DPS friends dies. Healer manages to get me, and later the other DPS. It's a pretty decent fight. I mean, it can be a little bit of a fuckfest at times, especially with all that AoE on the ground. A good tip is to not stand on top of the shrines before you actually have to use them, to minimize the risk of actually getting an AoE tossed on top of it. But you can see to the left that almost sort of happened, where the AoE is just right on top of the shrine. Okay, it just disappeared, so it seems like, yeah, the AoEs have like maybe half a minute of duration, something like that. It's a pretty long fight. It's definitely an endurance fight more than anything. I get trapped again, but yeah, they managed to free me just before I die. And that should be the kill. I'm just gonna skip through most of the trash here because it's not really that interesting. And it's pretty much the same stuff. I do think, however, yeah, some of them are a bunch of zombies that are even easier. You just have to AoE them down. You'll see an example of that here. Yeah, but after this boss that comes up, after this group here, I'll skip ahead. Because yeah, trash is boring, basically. But you can just see AoE the zombies down. It's pretty simple. Now you can actually go behind where I'm standing right now to another boss, but we're actually skipping that boss because we're doing the speedrun achievement. You'll also see that achievement pop at the end. A lot of flame casters in here. Definitely a lot of flame casters. Okay, you can see some some lagging here. I figured out that apparently Shadowplay, the program I'm using to record with, has some small issues once in a while. Because I keep getting this sort of weird lag on my footage, even though in game I'm not lagging at all. Alright, this guy here, Ulgarch, fucking names, seriously. Ulgarch the Risen. He will do a group fear, and every second you're feared, you'll spawn a flame on the ground, or every 2 seconds. I'm having yet more difficulties taunting him. The tactic here is basically just to break out of the fear. Keep your stamina up so you can break out of it, just to minimize the fire. If you don't, the entire room will just be filled with fire, which is not very nice. You can remove the fire, but you might have seen that in the beginning of the fight. My sorcerer friend dropped down the negate that has the remove AoE morph on it, but it did nothing. So yeah, you can't remove it. So just make sure to break out of that fear. Other than that, he's pretty easy. Right, this boss here can be really difficult on unless you do the exploit, which we do. We're pulling him into the tunnel. So this is Scaran the Returned. Now the thing is, when you pull him into the tunnel, he won't teleport, and he won't do his group AoE attack, which is the thing that really kills a lot of people. I'm not sure why this is actually a thing, but it is for some reason. And he's actually really difficult when you're doing the fight as you're supposed to do. But yeah, in the tunnel it's a lot easier, even though we do actually lose one group member here in a second. A little more than a second. Basically, he'll spawn these lich things, whatever they always do. Looks like I don't know what they actually look like some sort of anchor that comes up from the ground, and that anchor will explode and spawn ants, and you want to kill these ants quickly as possible. They do thrust attacks, and they're really fucking strong. Like like 2 of those attacks will kill a party member. Okay, you can see we lost one. Now we're just nuking him as fast as we can. There we go. Nice. Alright, we're coming up to the 4th boss, technically the 5th boss, but we skipped one. This guy here, he'll do a forward facing cone attack. He'll pull back when he does it, and when you get hit by it, it'll reduce your health with about 1,000 points, I think. Something like that. It'll also do a lot of damage. So each time he hits you, it'll reduce your health. You can see I get hit here, my health drops. I think I actually get hit twice. I'm not sure it actually stacks the ability though, or the debuff. Yeah. This is the forgotten one, and strangely enough, every time I'm here, I forget that this guy is actually here, which is kind of ironic, since he is the forgotten one. Alright, we're coming up to the final boss. You'll see Shadowplay messing up a little bit here again. I don't know why it does it. You can see it's sort of... It looks like it's lagging, but it really isn't. Like, in the game, it's running smooth at above 60 FPS. So yeah. This is Aline and Veteran Pellinger. These are actually quite simple, and it's ironic that one of the toughest bosses is actually the first one. It's quite simple. The melee guy will do an AoE attack that you want to avoid, and he'll also do a forward-facing cone attack that you also want to avoid. One of them will get a shield. When one of them gets a shield, you just switch. Pretty simple. The archer will do sort of a curse on you. I'll get it a little bit later, you'll see. Looks like a sort of shadow around you. Mid-fight, or at certain intervals, you'll get teleported to the middle of the room, and then you have to fight these sort of bats here. It's crazy. Not really. Doop, doop, doop. Yep, you can see. I'll get the curse here in a second. Oh yeah, my weapon's also invisible for some reason. Not sure why. There you go. That's the curse. It'll do damage over time. Usually the healer can heal through this. If not, make sure you have purge or something to get it off. You can see now both of them has a shield, or have a shield. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can kill the shield, I think, if you just damage them enough, or it'll go away over time. Okay, you'll see the archer dropping down here in a second. There we go, and then there's just one guy left. Avoid the AoE. Nuke, 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 nuke. Pretty basic stuff. And that's it. We also got our speedrun achievement, which is nice. Yeah, that's it. Pretty much, yeah. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching.